Are you planning to take the GMAT soon? This video discusses about specific study plan you can adopt so that you can finish studying the GMAT in 2 or 3 months. Also, we'll cover some testimonials by actual GMAT test takers who got into MBA programs coming up. Let's cut to the chase. How do you plan the 2 to 3 month study plan? I'll be assuming that you put a minimum of 2 hours of study every weekday and 5 to 6 hours of study on either Saturday or Sunday. If you can't afford that amount of study time, then I recommend you stretch your study time beyond 3 months. Week 1. The first thing you should do in week 1 is to figure out what's actually in the GMAT and be familiar with it. During weekdays, try to finish the diagnostic test in the GMAT Officer Guide 2019. Do both the quantum verbal diagnostic test. I've already covered a video about doing these diagnostic tests, so if you haven't seen it, check it out on the YouTube card and in the description. On week 2 and 3, set up your detailed study plan so that you cover both the quantum verbal at the same time. For example, one day you can study quant in the Officer Guide, and another day you can study verbal. Make sure to keep an error log for your study. After getting a big picture of your study plan, make sure to take the practice exam 1 from the GMAT website. You should experience the whole GMAT test taking experience to get an idea about controlling your test stamina and focus. I recommend you take the practice exam 1 on the weekend of week 2 or 3. Also, when you start solving problems in the Officer Guide, simulate the actual test environment as much as possible. On the test day, you'll be given 5 pages of erasable noteboards and their legal size. And you are given something like a non-permanent pen that looks like a built-in marker. Once you get familiar with these tools, don't write your calculations or answers on the Officer Guide books. Utilize the noteboards. What you can do is buy a legal size notepad, preferably yellow-colored one, from your local school or office supply stores, or order them online like Amazon. If you buy from Amazon, it costs only $12 for 600 pages, which is quite a good deal. I put the link below in the description. Because on the actual GMAT, the problems don't have ABCDE as answer choices, you need to come up with your own system of marking ABCDE. It will help your thinking process. What I do is I mark ABCDE whenever a new question pops up like this, and cross out answer choices that are wrong. Leaving out possible wrong answer choices, I narrow down my thinking, and it really helps me to get high score by thinking clearly. Organizing your own notepad is the key to the success. Some students employ a finger counting system. For example, the thumb is A, index finger B, middle finger C, ring finger D, and middle finger E. So if you eliminate the answer choices A and C, I would hold the thumb and the middle finger like this. Then you would look at your other fingers and visualize that you have B, D, and E left to choose. This method is good for saving time, so try it out and see if this strategy fits you. Now you arrive at week 4, time to review your progress. By looking at your error log, solve the questions again and see if you got the concept solid. Make flashcards if you find them effective in reviewing. Some people find the flashcards extremely helpful for review. Starting from week 5, you begin to take your practice exams. It will take a good 3 hours and 30 minutes for one practice exam, so on every weekend take one. Buy more practice exams from the GMAT if necessary. What's important is that you need to review the practice exams you took. If you don't review, then it's useless. Make sure to review the questions you got wrong or guessed. So from week 5 to 8, repeat the following progress. Review the error log, challenge yourself with harder level questions on topics you are confident, take practice exams, and review the practice tests. By now, you should be familiar with using the noteboards and felt markers. Did you devise your own system of using the noteboards? If not, reinforce your strategy using the noteboards. If you study for more than 8 weeks or 2 months, you need to tackle aggressively on harder level questions. Oftentimes, harder level questions can be solved with 3 ways. 1. Find a formula or tips that can shorten your time. Memorize and get familiar with them. For example, markup questions in quant often appear as 700 level questions, and even if they are not mentioned by the Officer Guide book, get ready for these types of problems. 2. By systematically dividing your thinking process in an organized fashion, you are able to solve challenging questions. Sharpen your thinking process, solving steps one by one. 3. practice thinking reasonable approximation for numbers. For example, if you are given 15,342 divided by 314, you need to be able to calculate quickly with approximation. 15,342 can be rounded down to 15,000 and 314 can be rounded down to 300. If you divide the 15,000 by 300, you will get 50, but the original answer will be greater than 50 because we round down the numbers. Make sure you master the approximation method. And finally, during the last week, make sure you get a good rest the day before the exam. I have put the sample 2 months and 3 months study plan on my website at cognitivebyGMAT.com. Please check the link below in the description. These are the videos on YouTube that talk about how they study the GMAT, and I also put the video links in the description. One video comes from the Office GMAT channel, and an MBA student at Willamette University describes how she studied the GMAT for 2 months. She covered a different part of the book every single day and studied 1 hour in the morning and 1 hour in the evening. During the first month, she studied the officer guidebook and took notes of what she didn't do well or what she wanted to review. She used different highlighters to indicate what questions she wanted to review. And in the second month, she took 4 practice exams, 1 test every Saturday, and she made sure to review the tests she took. So you can see that she took a successful strategy by not focusing on one area too much, always reviewing the questions by keeping an error log, and took practice exams every week in the second month. Another MBA student testified how she studied the GMAT over 3 months. She studied in the Richard Ivey School of Business in London, Ontario, Canada. She talked about 3 things she focused on. 1, she set up a very detailed study schedule that covered all major areas on the GMAT. 2, she maintained detailed notes after finishing practice exams. 3, she found a way of relieving stresses by taking a deep breath and thinking positively. So you can see that setting up your specific realistic goal and being able to handle stresses are the key to the successful GMAT study. In conclusion, the key to the successful GMAT study is building your stamina using Notepad to simulate the actual test environment, always reviewing your progress with an error log, and taking practice tests early and as often as possible. If you have any questions or want to share your own study plan strategy, please leave a comment. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video, and good luck with studying.